guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my July, August, and September wrap up of everything I watched in those 3 months. So we are going to go all the way back to, well, a little bit into June, because I filmed my last video a little early so I could get it, edited and posted. So we're going a little bit into June just to make sure I cover everything that I watched. The first ones on this list are 2 bangers of movies. I'm going to scoot myself over. First one was Inside Out. I posted my review of Inside Out 2, and if you saw that, you know that I absolutely love Inside Out. That is a solid 10 out of 10 movie for me. And following that, I saw Inside Out 2, and I absolutely loved that movie almost as much as the first one. I gave that 9 out of 10 stars. I'm not going to go too much into detail about it because I did do a video on the second one, but I loved Inside Out 2. Inside Out 1 is incredible, and Inside Out 2 was so freaking good. And following that, I watched for the first time the movie Spotlight. This is a movie about a journalist team in Boston, I believe, who cracks open the story of priests in the Catholic Church molesting young children. And it is a very upsetting story. It is not for the faint of heart. Do not watch this movie if you don't think you can handle that kind of stuff. But it is a very well told movie. It is so well done. I really enjoyed it. I really liked all of the acting in it. And I was very happy at the end of the movie knowing that that movie won Best Picture, because I definitely would not expect something like this to be even nominated, and for it to win was amazing. Following that, I actually went and saw Inside Out 2 again. I saw it for the first time with my friend Nicole, and then Sam and I had a movie pass, so we decided to go see it again. Same thing, 9 out of 10 stars. I rewatched the movie 101 Dalmatians, the animated one. I rewatched that movie so I could film my live action versus animated series, and for the animated 101 Dalmatians, I gave that 8 out of 10 stars. Sam and I also watched the live action Jungle Book. I hadn't seen this movie in a really long time, and this is just one that he spun on his wheel, so we ended up watching. And I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I think the only time I really saw it was when it was in theaters. Actually, no, I did watch it for my Disney movie marathon, and I really enjoyed watching it through a second time. I gave this 8 out of 10 stars. And then Sam and I went to see A Quiet Place Day 1. I also did a video on this, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but I gave it 8 out of 10 stars. That was a good week. Lots of 8 out of 10 stars. Sam and I watched the movie Eddie the Eagle for the very first time. I enjoyed this movie. I know it is not super duper accurate or anything like that, and I know a lot of people don't really like this movie, but I thought it was really cute. Anything Taron Egerton is in is fantastic in my books. I gave this 7 out of 10 stars. And then Sam and I went to see Long Legs with my brother-in-law in theaters. Again, I talked all about this. I did a video on it. I liked this movie. It's not my favorite thing in the world because it's not my type of horror, but it was still really good. I still really enjoyed it. I gave this 7 out of 10 stars. Sam and I finished watching The Acolyte. I gave that 6 out of 10 stars. The more I think about The Acolyte, the more I think I did like it. I just like a lot of the lore and stuff behind it. And I have definitely signed the petition for there to be a season 2, because I think this show deserves a season 2. I think it needs a season 2 to answer some questions. So I am definitely on board for there being a season 2 of The Acolyte. We watched The Young Woman in the Sea, another movie that I have a video on. This is on Disney+. It stars Daisy Ridley as Trudy Ederle, the first woman to swim the English Channel. I really liked this movie. I go more into detail about that in my video, but I gave this 8 out of 10 stars. I had a friend over and we decided to watch The Sword and the Stone, which has always been one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. 10 out of 10 stars. I absolutely love The Sword and the Stone. I love Merlin. I think he is so freaking funny, and I love Archimedes. They're such freaking great characters. So 10 out of 10 stars for The Sword and the Stone. I finished watching the movie Rogue One. This was one that I had been watching for my Walking the Saga challenge. So I finished watching that, and obviously 10 out of 10 stars for Rogue One. Had a really fun movie night at my sister's. Sam and I actually decided to buy a projector, and we hung a bedsheet from my sister's balcony, and we projected a movie onto the balcony. And the first movie that the kids wanted to do for our fun movie night was they wanted to watch Quest for Camelot, which I am all four. I love that movie. It is a movie from my childhood. I freaking love this movie so much. 9 out of 10. Then the next day, Sam and I decided to go see the movie Twisters in theaters. I think it was very close to being out of theaters by the time we saw it. And it was just one movie that I was like, I have to see this in theaters. It's just one of those movies that you have to see it in theaters. Like, watching it on your own home TV just won't do it as much justice. And I am so glad we ended up seeing it in theaters because I absolutely loved this movie. I had so much fun at this movie. I did an entire video on it, which has actually a few dislikes, which I thought was hilarious. This was probably my second favorite movie of the summer, next to Inside Out 2. If Inside Out 2 hadn't come out this year, this would have 1000% been my favorite movie of the summer, if not the whole year. I just had so much fun with this movie and I gave it 9 out of 10 stars. I babysat my nieces and nephews and we watched The Mitchells versus the Machines. One of my favorite movies, a 10 out of 10. Then I finally watched the live action 101 Dalmatians for my video and I gave that 7 out of 10 stars. I did like it. I definitely did like it a lot more rewatching it. It's been a long time since I've really like sat down and watched it all the way through, and I definitely liked it a lot more than I remembered. 7 out of 10 stars. I also finished the TV show Shameless, and I could go into detail about how much I despise Fiona Gallagher on Shameless. It's funny because I was telling, I think Sam or maybe my sister, about how much I hate Fiona Gallagher, and they're like, how do you hate her so much when Frank is there? And Frank is just the worst character in existence. You are correct. Frank is one of the worst characters in existence, but he's supposed to be horrible. He's supposed to be a horrible character. We're supposed to like Fiona. The whole point of the show is we're supposed to like Fiona and we're supposed to be on her side about things. And I could not stand her. I have literally joked that I could write a dissertation on how horrible of a person Fiona Gallagher is. And even when she left the show, I was just kind of still like meh about the whole show. I'm glad I did finally finish it. There was definitely some things about this show that made it so good. Particularly Mickey and Ian's relationship. The two of them are so perfect for one another and I absolutely love their characters together. Honestly, I gave this 5 out of 10 stars. There was just so much going on about it that I really was just so upset about the whole time. I mean, I know the point of the show is that these characters are supposed to be horrible, but at the same time, there's other characters on this show like Carl, who is constantly trying to grow, and like, yes, he starts out as the character that we all think is going to end up in jail, and yes, Carl does eventually end up going to juvie, but after he gets out of juvie, he actually like goes through a really important like growth in his life where he wants to be a better person. So it's like all these characters that are so shitty, they don't have to be. And I think some of these characters actually grow really, really well, where some of them, like Fiona, are just shit the whole time. So 5 out of 10. And then my sister and I watched the movie I Am Sam. I watched this movie when I was way too young to fully understand what was going on in this movie. Rewatching it, it is such a good movie. Sean Penn is incredible in this movie. It is so heartbreaking. It is such a good movie. 7 out of 10 stars for I Am Sam. We had another movie night at my sister's house where we set up the bed sheet and the projector for one more movie night before it starts to get too cold during the nights. And we watched Matilda, the original, not the musical new one. This is a movie that I completely grew up on. When we were watching this movie, my sister's husband, my brother-in-law, was saying how he thought it was so funny watching this movie and actually counting how many of the lines from this movie my family always repeats. There are so many lines in this movie that my family just constantly says. And it was funny watching it because like there's lines I know we say, but then watching this movie I was like, oh, that's where we got this. There's things from this. Didn't realize it was from this movie. I love this movie. 10 out of 10 stars. So I just had to change my battery and the battery isn't actually full. My battery that I was filming on died. My second battery was on the charger and it wasn't fully charged yet. So here's to hoping what juice I do have on this battery here is enough to get me through the rest of this video. Then I watched and finished Phantom Menace for my Walking the Saga challenge. 10 out of 10 stars. Sam and I watched the 2009 Star Trek. He he spun this on his wheel and put it on for us to watch. It is safe to say I am a Star Wars girly through and through. I know this isn't like the original Star Trek or anything like that, but either way, I am definitely a Star Wars girly. I gave this 5 out of 10 stars. And the last video I'm going to talk about that we literally just watched last night that I really enjoyed. This has been one movie that I've been wanting to watch for a long time, but I've honestly been like way too scared to put it on because I've been just so scared of the content of this movie. But we finally watched it and I am so glad we did because I really liked it, and that was the 2013 Evil Dead. When this trailer came out, I remember my friends and I passing around one of our phones to show the trailer for this movie, and the trailer of this movie just looked absolutely terrifying and just so much gore and so much blood, and I have been so scared to watch this movie. But I finally watched it and I loved it. I thought it was so fun. Is it something that I'm going to put on over and over and over again? Definitely not, but I can definitely see myself rewatching this in the future and just enjoying the heck out of it. I gave this 9 out of 10 stars, and the only reason it loses a star is because the girlfriend in this movie, Natalie, I think her name was just the most useless character ever. Like, she literally did nothing in this entire movie. Like, she was just there for an extra body to kill, and I was fine with that. And let me tell you, the kills in this movie are beyond incredible. The effects that they do for this movie, the gore and the blood that they use in this movie are insane. Safe to say that this kind of like supernatural gory movie was definitely more up my alley than like Longlegs, even though I did really enjoy Longlegs. I don't know, I just thought it was so much fun. I really liked it, and yeah, I gave it 9 out of 10 stars. Okay, so that is going to be it. That is everything I watched in July, August, and September. I really hope you guys liked this video. The next video will be at the end of the year, wrapping up October, November, and December, and then we will start again next year. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I would love it if you would like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Friday, and I'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.